So here's the thing about birthday parties. When you're 8 years old, they're supposed to be fun, right? Well, tell that to Emma, who was standing outside Chuck E. Cheese, staring at the cartoon mouse, grinning down at her like some kind of demented mascot. Her mother had already gone inside to set up, leaving Emma with that familiar knot in her stomach that came from crowded places. The noise hit her the second those glass doors opened, kids screaming, games beeping, that awful birthday song playing on repeat. Emma wasn't really the party type, honestly. She preferred her books and quiet corners, but it was her cousin Jake's birthday, and apparently showing up was non-negotiable. "Emma, over here!" Jake waved from across the chaos, standing next to one of those photo booth machines. You know the kind, the ones that spit out strips of pictures that nobody ever looks at again. This one was different though. Instead of the usual cheesy props, it had a sign that read, "Birthday wishes come true," in glittery letters. Now, I've always thought those photo booths were kind of stupid, but Jake was practically bouncing with excitement, so Emma trudged over. The machine was old, way older than the rest of the equipment, the kind of vintage that makes you wonder why they hadn't replaced it yet. "Come on, make a wish and take a picture." Jake grabbed her arm, already pulling her toward the curtain. Emma rolled her eyes but climbed in anyway. The booth was cramped and smelled like cleaning supplies mixed with something else. Something sweet but wrong, like candy that's been left out too long. The screen flickered to life, showing their reflection, but the colors seemed off, too bright, too saturated. "Make a wish," Jake whispered. Emma closed her eyes. Honestly, she wished she was anywhere but there. Anywhere quiet, anywhere peaceful, anywhere that wasn't full of screaming kids and sticky floors. The camera flashed. When she opened her eyes, Jake was gone. "Wait, what?" Emma pushed through the curtain, expecting to find him waiting outside, probably laughing at some joke. But the arcade had changed. The lights were dimmer, softer somehow. The noise had faded to a gentle hum, and the other kids, they were all sitting quietly at tables, drawing or reading or playing board games. It was perfect. Exactly what she'd always wanted a party to be. "Pretty nice, isn't it?" Emma spun around. A woman stood behind her, wearing a vintage dress covered in tiny birthday cakes. She had the kind of smile that belonged in old photographs, the kind that never quite looked real. "Where's Jake?" Emma asked. "Oh, he's around here somewhere, having the time of his life, I'm sure." The woman gestured toward the peaceful room. "This is what you wanted, isn't it? A nice, quiet party where everyone behaves?" It was exactly what she'd wanted. The kids were calm, polite even. No one was running around or screaming. They were actually having conversations instead of yelling over arcade games. Emma found herself nodding. "I'm Mrs. Cake," the woman said, which should have been funny but somehow wasn't. I help make birthday wishes come true. Your wish was so clear, so strong. You really wanted peace and quiet, didn't you?" Emma nodded again. She did want this, but something felt wrong about how still everyone was, how their voices seemed to come from far away, even when they were sitting right next to her. "Would you like some cake?" Mrs. Cake pointed to a table loaded with the most beautiful birthday cake Emma had ever seen. Multiple layers, perfect frosting, flowers, candles that sparkled without actually burning. As they walked over, Emma noticed the other kids more closely. They were pale, almost gray around the edges, and their eyes, God, those eyes looked so tired, like they hadn't slept in weeks. One little girl looked up at Emma and tried to smile, but it took visible effort, like she was lifting something heavy. "Are they okay?" Emma whispered. "They're perfect," Mrs. Cake said, cutting a slice that looked too perfect, too symmetrical. "They're exactly what you wished for. Quiet, well-behaved children. No more chaos, no more noise." Emma's stomach started doing that twisty thing again. "But they look sick." "Oh, they're not sick." Mrs. Cake held out a plate. The cake smelled wrong, like flowers at a funeral. "They're peaceful, permanently peaceful. No more birthday excitement, no more party energy. Isn't that what you wanted?" That's when Emma understood. These kids weren't quiet because they were well-behaved. They were quiet because something had been taken from them. Their energy, their joy, their ability to be loud and messy and alive. "I want to go back," Emma said, backing away from the cake. Mrs. Cake's smile stretched wider, and Emma could see now that it was simply not right, but it was somehow worse because it was so ordinary looking. "But you got exactly what you wished for. Don't you want to stay? You could be peaceful too. No more anxiety about parties. No more feeling overwhelmed." "No." Emma turned and ran. Behind her, she could hear Mrs. Cake's voice changing, becoming something else entirely. "You can't leave. This is what you wanted. This is your wish." Emma ran through corridors that seemed to stretch forever, past rooms full of silent children sitting at silent parties. The photo booth. She had to find the photo booth. But every door she opened led to another birthday room, another group of drained, quiet kids. Finally, she saw it. The vintage photo booth, still flickering with that wrong-colored light. Emma dove through the curtain and slammed her hand on the button, wishing harder than she'd ever wished for anything. She wished for chaos. She wished for noise. She wished for Jake's annoying laugh and screaming kids and sticky floors, and all of it. The flash went off. Emma stumbled out of the booth and nearly fell over. The noise hit her like a wall. Chuck E. Cheese in all its chaotic glory. Kids running everywhere, games beeping, that mouse costume dancing on a stage. It was beautiful. "There you are!" Jake appeared beside her, holding a strip of photos. These came out weird though, look. Emma looked at the pictures. The first 3 showed her and Jake making silly faces. But in the 4th one, behind them, in the background, she could see Mrs. Cake, still smiling, still waiting. "Yeah," Emma said, crumpling up the photo strip. "Weird." But you know what? She spent the rest of the party actually having fun. Because sometimes chaos isn't the enemy. Sometimes it's proof that everyone around you is still alive. Have you ever had a strange or weird experience with one of those photo booths? I know they always give me the creeps. But thanks for listening to the story, and hopefully you'll check out another one of my Dark Veil tales. Until the next time, have a frightfully fun day.